Hi everyone, I'm Farhana and I'm an OISC regulated immigration advisor at Tulia, and welcome to episode 1 of the Spouses in Immigration podcast. This podcast will be taking place every Friday this July on YouTube. So today we're going to be discussing how to join your spouse in the UK. So this can be whether you're married, whether you're unmarried, and there's various different options available. So you can apply for a spouse visa where you're joining your husband or wife in the UK. You can apply for a fiancé visa in situations where you're unmarried and in a different country and your spouse lives in the UK, or you can apply as a skilled worker dependent. So for today, I'll be focusing on fiancé visas in particular, and what to do and what not to do. So with a fiancé visa, it allows your fiancé to come to the UK. So you must be the fiancé of a British citizen or someone with settled status in the UK. So by settled status, I mean someone with, let's say, for example, indefinite leave to remain or refugee settlement, for example. And you must have genuinely intended to marry this person within 6 months of the arrival to the UK. So the whole purpose of this visa is for them to come to the UK to get married. This means that you should already have a proposed wedding date in mind, and you must have made some sort of progress with the wedding arrangements. You must both be in the UK when the visa is granted, and you must both be 18 or over. The sponsor in this matter must be British or settled, so someone with settled status, like I mentioned, with indefinite leave to remain, for example, or they must have had a refugee settlement. The sponsor must meet the financial income requirement of £18,600 a year, and you must intend to live together permanently in the UK. Your sponsor must have made some sort of suitable accommodation arrangements for you to stay in the UK, and your relationship must be genuine. So by genuine, I mean you must have met in person with the sponsor at least once, and you must demonstrate that you meet the English language requirements so that you can come to the UK. And the processing time, from my experience with such applications, is about 3 months, and you'd normally be expected to get married within the 6 months that you're in the UK. If, for example, there's a situation occurred and you've not been able to get married within the 6 months, for example, it could be that the register office doesn't have a date within that specific time, and then you may be able to extend it, provided that you can show that you've got valid reasons to apply for the extension at the time of the request. So one thing that I don't suggest that you do in the meantime, for example, whilst you've put in a fiancé visa application, is to apply for another visa, such as a visitor's visa or a student visa, or any other different type of visa, for example, because in some cases you might think that it's a simpler or faster way to apply. But what it is actually essentially doing is it's limiting your credibility, and it can sometimes seem as though you're utilising all sorts of measures just to be in the UK. Essentially, it's not just wasted time on the UK VI, it's also wasted time for you. And in cases where you find out that it's been rejected, for example, because you're not deemed as a genuine visitor or a student. So that's why I recommend that you do put in the appropriate application, and you put in the application through with all the documents that are necessary. I also recommend that you only put in the application on the basis that it's genuine, because what that will do is it will then save you time in the long run. It will also be beneficial to you because it will give you some sort of status in the UK, and it will also it will put you on a route that's actually right for you. So for more detailed information about the processes and the sort of documentation required, feel free to book a consultation.